That's the thing that I did like about video games back in the days. Well, already, he complains about, oh, your fancy graphics and sounds. You have to think about the actual gameplay. I like that back then, especially like in the mid to late 90s, there was an actual concerns. There was an actual concern from game developers and players about how games were becoming redundant and too focused on, graphics and sound and the improvement of technology, and not necessarily about the, the base of it. Yes, I want a house with nice curtains, but will my house sink into the ground? That's what matters first. And that's kind of the issue. I remember when people bitched about Resident Evil 3 because, oh, well, it feels too much like, it feels too much like 1 and 2. Although, I think that's when taste started to go down because people, ironically, people were really hard and mean with Resident Evil 3 and said, oh, Code Veronica was supposed to be the real 3. No, Code Veronica was an apology for the fact that they didn't release the game on the 2 and 3 on Sega hardware, and so they made Code Veronica for the Dreamcast, and then anyway ported it to PlayStation 2 afterwards. So, I guess it wasn't necessarily supposed to be exclusive, but Sega fans were supposed to have something. But the thing is that when you think about it, Resident Evil, Code Veronica is the actual game that was the one that was way too focused on graphics and didn't have, too many things of interest. Think about it. Resident Evil 3 introduced an enemy that follows you at all times. So now you've shown, to the player that we have mastered technology to an extent. So there's that. On top of it, now we have the 180. You have crafting, and the good kind of crafting. You have, you can craft a different type of ammo. That's really great. You have the 180. You have a lot more zombies. They're faster, more aggressive. It doesn't work really well, but there's the counter mechanic. There's a lot of elements that were added in 3. And then you play Code Veronica, and it's this, basic bitch Resident Evil that struggles with even the most basics of things. Even climbing the stairs in Resident Evil 3, climbing the stair was, no longer a canned animation. It was actually, you would go up and down the stairs in real time. And then, I don't know what happened, the lack of communication, that wasn't a thing anymore suddenly in Code Veronica. So now it was a free, an animation that had to play every time you were basically stuck on the stairs, and that kind of sucked. And when you think about it, a lot was sacrificed just a lot was sacrificed in that game. Again, a lot was sacrificed in that game just to get those, just fancy graphics. Like, yeah, the game is You know, it's pretty. It has now. It's no longer, you know, static backgrounds. In that, it's now fully 3D. But it's basically the thing that people were saying about 3, that, you know, it's only the graphics and it's oh, fuck the fucking balloon, and oh, it's no longer interesting. You know, it's always the same thing. It's just the graphics and that got improved and nothing else. When, you know, what outside of the really limited dual wielding, what did Code Veronica really bring? It was really just an improvement in motion capture, in sound, and graphics, but not really in gameplay.